Special day for surfing history. It's so fun to watch it all go down as Peterson Crisanto and Joan Duru are already kicking off here at the main break of Margaret River. Tide bottomed out, much too dangerous at the box for the rest of the afternoon. And so Duru is going back to turns here. Nice clean rail lines on the backhand of Joan Duru, representing Hossegor, France, gets the finish to start off quickly against the rookie Peterson Crisanto. Surfing is so incredible. Think about just what we went through on the other side on the slab, and now back to some traditional lines. Conditions are unbelievable today. There's a lot of insane free surfs going on as we see what Duru did on the backhand here.
Yeah, you know, we're going to see a lot of different approach here. You know, obviously the box all about the tube ride, getting nice and deep. So the judging criteria will change, and they're going to be looking for big, solid maneuvers, nice combinations, and big maneuvers like that right at the end of this one. Joan Duru finishing this wave incredibly well. She's such a solid backhand surfer. You can see the waves at main break, nice and solid out here this afternoon. And this last turn from Joan Duru, I think, was definitely the money shot. Right in the pocket, gets that big extension, throwing that back foot out. Perfect timing.
So it will still stay solid throughout the day. Just a little ease off in the late afternoon, just a touch off with the size we've seen at the moment. So still going to be the biggest day of action here at the main break. Carved to start for the rookie Peterson Crisanto. And attacking that end section with authority. And I'm just stoked to see him pushing that hard, because after he walked away from his heat at Karamas, he looked like he was in a lot of pain.
It really gives you the opportunity to focus on your big turns, Joe. And I think this first opening maneuver, beautiful, big, deep bottom turn, nice sort of carve off the top. And then he sort of took his time, didn't he? He waited for it. He didn't try and fit too much in, making sure he connected with that last section. So two solid maneuvers. So Joan Duru's kind of got the benchmark for this heat so far, 6.67. And Peterson is going to try and put himself right up there with it. A little bit of downtime through the middle part of that wave. Now the wave didn't stand up at all, so he wanted to maintain that speed through the flat section just to make sure that that last maneuver was dynamic enough.
Opting to let that one run through, so Peterson setting up his second scoring ride. Clean rail work, high off the top of that section for the cutty, and now driving down the line. Just sort of resetting himself. Now looking for a finishing move. Lay back, power carve, and somehow,
you know, the swell direction it is, even though it is bigger, Joe, it doesn't necessarily mean these waves are standing up as much, so you really got to connect with the right part of the wave. Take your time with it. Wait for the opportunities to arise. You can see just some filling work there for Peterson. That wave goes quite sleepy, but finding that end bowl there just to do that big layback snap, unfortunately didn't ride out of it.
Even just the big conditions at Bells Beach, when you just would watch a lot less surfing and a lot more paddling. We want to see a show. So great to see the Water Patrol working hard throughout the day today. Duru belting the top of that section on that right-hand wall. Trimming in size dramatically, so he'll hop out of there. Started off strong with a 6.67. Duru, 26th in the world, coming into stop number 4.
Yeah, Joan Duru, no slouch, that's for sure. I mean, this kid is dangerous no matter what the conditions are like, but the bigger and heavier the waves get, the more he sort of revels in those kind of situations. Beautiful opening maneuver, and again, just keeping that board moving. And kicks out, no end section, unfortunately, on that. But the first turn, Joe, takes his time, eyes out the section. Now he drives off the bottom. And look at the position here, right in the pocket. Gets that upper body rotating, jamming those fins into the face of the wave, throwing a lot of water out the back. Powerful young guy. And rides back down in pretty much vertical. So great turn there from Joan Duru. It's going to be another good score on the board for him. You know, I think it was just the kind of waves that John was getting as well. Here we go.
Rolling into this one. Joan, nice and patient off the bottom, but that thing is just going to have a lot of different shapes on the face, so he's out of there quickly.
And then there's these beautiful lefts that roll off, but it could take half your heat just to get back out after one of those long waves. So there's a lot going on in the lineup right now.
Thanks for the insight. Striders will drop in with Joan Duru. Gets a little lost on that first section. And I love when you break down the extra detail from Strider's perspective, realizing picking the right one can be challenging. Peterson. Nice arc and carve using a lot of the open face. And just controls that re-entry on the huge whitewater section. Feels like he's really trying to simplify the formula out there. Thinking, okay, 2-turn combinations, stay on your feet. He's got rid of his 2-4-3 and a 5-1-8 or better. Gets the lead off Duru.
Watch this first maneuver though. This is where a lot of the points are going to come from. Big swooping maneuver. And now he comes down to the bottom and he starts assessing the situation, what to do. Instead of trying to fit 2 turns in, he just focused on one big maneuver and made sure he carried enough speed into that turn to make it dynamic. You can see not to, he didn't try and tear the lip off, but just below the lip line was where he put that turn, and it was kind of a safe turn in a way. But it's what you needed to do. It's what the wave asked for.
Welcome back to Margaret River, where the population of this beautiful town reached about 10,000 right at the early part of the early 2000s. It's still relatively a small town. Everyone knows each other, but there's always visitors getting in the water, like Duru and Peterson Crisanto, who are 2 of the best surfers in the world. Enjoying stop number 4 of the season. Duru now finishing with that backhand arc. Starting that turn nice and early to get the completion. And avoiding that crazy little slabbing shelf on the inside to get into some deeper water through the channel, and he'll be able to reset on the ski and get whipped back out there. Duru needed a 6.67 on this wave.
Yeah, he needs a big score. Nice opening maneuver there. And then the wave kind of goes a little sleepy, but he keeps that board moving rail to rail, maintaining that speed all the way through, and then connecting nicely at the end. 6.67 required, exactly the same score as he got on his opening ride. Was it as good, Joe? It was a 3-turn combo as opposed to 2. I don't think the last maneuver was as dynamic on the opening ride. Opening ride's last turn was amazing.
Round 2 knockouts. That was equal 25th last year, and that's what put him in that crazy position at the end of the season. Peterson on a bomb. Just so patient off the bottom. Wave's already about half the size as it was on the takeoff. He'll just wrap a couple of cutties into the pocket. Stepping on the gas. There's that layback re-entry he's been loving on the end section. It's reliable, it's consistent, it's got some power to it. And he'll try to improve on a 6.0.
Let's have a look at this one here. Kind of stalls on the takeoff, maybe looking for a little bit of a cover-up. Now he goes to that front side carve. And as you said, Joe, this wave faded really quickly, so he had to get busy to make this this one count. And then right here, that was a better finish.
Duru off the ski and already up and riding. Meets a big section right off the lip. He'll float the next one with the whitewater. Hard off the bottom and a clean backhand carve off the top. He loves it. I love the pace and the tempo from both these surfers at the moment. Main break's got a nice pace to it at this size. They're not trying to rush anything, just keeping that rail engaged on the open face.
You've seen that board in the right position. I think this is probably, for me anyway, the best wave. Big commitment on that first turn. Waiting for it to stand up, making sure he connects with this last maneuver, and he does exactly that. Beautiful surfing from Joan Duru. 6.67 for Peterson's last ride. That maneuver right there, upside down, Joe, that was critical stuff. And even that foam climb, a dangerous maneuver to do, but it's set up this turn here nicely. Big extension of the body, throwing a lot of spray out the back of the wave.
So it's the best of the best that were always dominating this wave. 4 minutes on the clock, late takeoff for Joan Duru, just up and out.
Slightly damaged equipment, I should say.
That thing is buckled. But what a souvenir to take away from the Margaret River Pro. Peterson takes this wave to try to get the score. Tries to punch it vertically. Frontside wrap, needed something real big in here, but he's got the speed for it. There's that layback hammer he's been going to. And that whitewater section did the best it could to take him down, and somehow the rookie survives. See if he did enough on this one. Potsy's looking for a 6.78 here.
Yeah, you know, didn't really connect with that first turn. Second maneuver, sort of more of a transition turn. This is where all the points are going to come from. I mean, he really hooked into that. That was the best finishing move we've seen from Peterson. Double pumps off the bottom and then just lays right into it. That thing was almost upside down into that oncoming section. And as he tries to fight his way out, that white water converges, almost takes the board away from underneath his feet. But somehow, a Houdini-like make there for Peterson Crisanto. I think the best maneuver on that was the last turn. Joan Duru out the back.
Big, smooth takeoff for the Frenchman. Goes straight up on that climb section, but that'll put him out the back. And here comes the decision. Crisanto gets the score on the last wave, a 6.9 to take out Duru as we run out of time. 14.23 to 14.10, and the rookie is fired up and moving on to the round of 16, where he'll match up with Julian Wilson later on in the event.